Welcome to the Hero Escape Podcast, your weekly escape from the Beast, etc. We are one of your 12 co-hosts, James McAvoices, and we are joined by...
Nice. Mr. McAvoices, it's like so good to have you here.
Yeah, really
all
good.
of you.
It's an honor and a pleasure.
You're welcome, etc.
It's the honor. Oh,
It's going to be the whole episode.
yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, who are we joined by?
Well, it's pronounced Ned Schneeble.
Ned
Schneeble.
Yes.
Ned Schneeble. Am I getting it right? Ned Schneeble.
Ned Schneeble.
Ned Schneeble. Well, nice deal. And I am also Mr. Glass, but I'm Breakable Glass. Unlike the cousin Unbreakable.
Nice.
And we would like to give a sincere, heartfelt, and most joyous dedication to Hedwig, who's a real fan of the Beast, who's going to do terrible, terrible things to this intro, etc.
You can tell who we were big fans of all the personalities. He's the standout favorite.
So we're a little delayed in getting out this episode here, talking about the recent release of the movie Glass, the culmination of M. Night Shyamalan's, if you want to call it, superhero trilogy, where they go back to the wonderful character that was introduced, was it like 15 years ago, in the movie Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, the main character, who turns out to be... This will be a spoiler-filled review. Filled.
Etc.
Etc.
Apologies in advance.
Yeah.
Get ready for more of those.
Yeah, get ready for more.
You've been warned.
Yeah. So they goes back to that movie came out, loved it. Unbreakable back like 15 years ago, totally loved it. Then only a handful of years ago, 3 years ago, kind of a miracle happened. They make the movie Split with the permission of two different movie houses.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Disney and then like Universal, major rivalries in the movie making business, had to both sign off in the making of Split because M. Night Shyamalan wanted to make Split a continuation of The Unbreakable, and one of the two owned Unbreakable, the other one was owning Split. So they.
Well, why didn't he make it with the studio that owned Unbreakable? That's kind of strange.
I don't know. They didn't want to make it, but they're okay like sharing money. Or I don't remember how they drew the lines, but this type of movie is not going to happen again. So then they had the permission to do that. Then 3 years later.
Wait. So they split the money, etc. Carry on.
Etc. They got some sort of rights. I don't know what the kickback was that they got. But anyways, so they made the movie Split, which was I think a very excellent thriller. If you like being driven to the edge of your seat and a little bit freaked out and creeped out, it's an excellent movie. It's not the type of movie that everybody necessarily enjoys because it's creepy, like disturbing creepy.
Agreed.
It's not like those, without being like a Blair Witch Project creepy movie, or like the movie that just came up, The Nun, that's like, Satan is a character in our movie. Aside
it's the
from
psycho
that,
killer creepy.
Yeah.
Like,
this dude is broken in the head, right?
Yeah.
And all these multiple personalities come out. Very, very, very good movie.
If you were to see somebody just stretch acting, right? Just act the crap out of acting.
Yeah.
Just break acting. If you were to see someone just take acting and own it, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, James McAvoy in the movie Split, and then also now in the final installment of Glass. I came out of that theater affirmed in what I had already suspected, that James McAvoy cannot be miscast. He can do anything aside from being like 6 foot. But dude is short.
He could probably do that.
I
believe in him.
I shouldn't sell it out, right? You know,
That's right.
With digital enhancements, he probably could play a 6 foot character too. But anyways, I mean, that guy is.
I'm convinced you could take him out of some classically like an older, well-known actress from Meryl Streep or something. Pull her out of a movie, put him in her role. He would do fantastic.
Yeah,
Same wardrobe and everything.
I'd be like, yeah, great, still a great movie.
Great movie. Yeah, he really could do anything. I mean, like if we were rating like actors, he's a 10.
Yeah, I'd give him a 10.
Oh, absolutely. I mean just imagine, right? Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey unzips the cryo thing, out pops James McAvoy, movie goes up by 0.1 at least. Just like that.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I would like to see? James McAvoy in the role of Who's the main actor's name again?
Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey. But then
Matt Damon?
also
Wait, was it-
McAvoy
Oh, yes,
pops out
he
of
does
it.
all the parts.
He
That's
does
right.
all the parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm Matt Damon. I'm here to ruin the movie, etc.
Wow, we have derailed. Much like the train derailed in Unbreakable, which turned out to be a critical plot point.
Full circle segue. Well done. Well done, sir.
Bring it back in. Okay, so M. Night Shyamalan gets the go ahead, and like I said, groundbreaking, having to be approved by 2 different movie houses. They make this closing trilogy, and I went to that theater, totally excited to watch Glass because I loved Unbreakable. I thought Split was just very, very good, and I thought, dude, M. Night Shyamalan, he's got his mojo back. You know, he kind of really came to with Unbreakable, and he knows how to do a plot twist like other people don't do. And he kind of, like I said, lost his way for a little bit, but then when I watched Split and at the end of that one, like how that one ends, and then also when I had no idea Split was supposed to be a continuation of Unbreakable, that secret was kept well by the studios, and it only comes out at like the
very end, like the last
very
minute.
end, kind of like a Marvel extra scene at the end type of a thing, where all of a sudden you see Bruce Willis' character only revealed at the end that he exists in the same universe as as the Beast. So, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, so it's almost like the mirror image of the Unbreakable guy. He's got strength and power that he uses for good, and this Split is just the Beast, the Horde uses this ability, this strength to do bad things, right? But then they go back to I thought, to me, Glass, the character of Mr. Glass for Samuel L. Jackson, this is one of his best roles. When I watched Unbreakable, I don't know how recently either of you have seen Unbreakable.
It's been a while.
I DVR'd it on my TV just so I could watch it again. He goes through in that first movie this, like, because you don't know at the beginning that he's like insane. You know, he's like a broken person. He's got that osteogenesis imperfecta, which makes his bones break very easily, and he's, you know, but then when you realize at the end of that movie that he's the one who's been causing all these traumatic things, he's the one who derailed a train to kill a bunch of people to see if any person survived and had this ability to survive, you know, that was kind of invulnerable-ish.
I think they list like several terrible disasters that he caused, right?
He did,
4 or 5, all and trying to find super people.
So you take in that movie this, which shows good directing, good acting and good writing, where this character, it's like you almost just you don't realize that he's been descending into madness throughout the movie and had been doing it all along. You're just like, oh, and to me that's one of Samuel L. Jackson's best performances as well. And then Mr. McAvoy's, like we already said, was spot on. So to bring all 3 of those characters together in this final movie, I was super, super pumped, and went and saw it, and I made you guys go see it.
I was on the fence.
Yeah.
And you were kind of disinclined. And
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But so we get out of me having watched it for the second time and even picking up a little bit more than that maybe I had kind of missed in the beginning. And I thought, so when I first blush, when I watched it the first time, is like I loved it. Like it was so good, but it wasn't a
Marvel movie.
Yeah, it was not a Marvel movie. It turned out.
A Marvel superhero movie.
I will say I want to almost watch it again to see how many times he does this in the movies, because there's times where he nods to these the predecessor action movies, right? Because there's a magazine that gets a shot in something about a Marvel, and it's, I think you pointed out the same font. It says Marvel, very big letters on the cover of the magazine,
alluding to superhero.
Yeah, but it's talking about this building, I think, in the movie this modern Marvel, and the building is called some Japanese word, tower, I think, which I feel like has got to be a throwback to Nakatomi Plaza, Die Hard. You know, the whole movie. You know, it's got to be, because it's so similar, the skyscraper and everything.
That's good.
Which I love that he did that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. Anytime you can get Bruce Willis to make a reference to Die Hard, or, you know, convince him to revisit that time.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good thing.
I mean, think about the people that he got to work with on this movie: Bruce Willis, James McAvoy, who's clearly in the prime of awesomeness right now, and Samuel L. Jackson to film this this movie, and the lady, I forget the name, who was the psychologist, did a marvelous performance as well. Super, super, super good. So my expectation was big showdown, all this stuff. What was your feel going into it? How did you feel right after getting out of the theater there, Nathaniel?
I guess my whole thing was he's making this movie in a time when superhero movies are both many, prevalent, and very well done for the most part. DC accepted there. So he had to do something different, and he did do something different. And I feel like he doubled down on it, and I really liked the way that he crafted the whole thing. It's a commentary on superheroes, really, is what the movie is. I mean, the entire thing, with a very little exception, all takes place in that mental hospital. Mm-hmm. And I walked away feeling like it was a great story. I'm not sure, kind of like your reaction, that everyone was going to walk out feeling like they got what they wanted. But in terms of correctly subverting expectations, not in a petty manner, not in a franchise-destroying manner, but in an enhancing manner.
Yes.
Enhance.
Yeah.
That he executed very well on that. Because I think you commented this too when we got out of it. You didn't feel like you knew where it was going to go as you're progressing along. Like, you just don't know which way things are going to turn. You don't have all you get a weird sense from the doctor lady.
Yeah.
But you can't 100% say for sure that she is evil or bad or the villain, you know? Yeah, exactly. So it was pretty masterfully crafted, you know. You kind of know that he is that Glass is got a plan, but you don't know what it is. And it's just from the previous movie and kind of knowing his character. And there's a part of you that is hoping that he has an awesome mastermind plan, you know?
So there's that part where you thought you knew it was going to go on. It was going to end with this big beatdown showdown, like you've seen a million action movies go. And then there's this...
I don't know if you... I hoped for one, right?
Yeah, so did I.
Because the movie talks over and over about how strong the Beast is. And then I think a couple times they even drop... maybe Glass says or something that Bruce Willis's character, I can't remember his name. He hasn't even tapped into his potential yet. So you're sitting there hoping, and there's a scene when he's punching the door, trying to knock the door off its hinges, and you're like, I want to see him, become so much more. I want to see this flexing of what he can be. You know, you want to see that,
which I totally wanted to see. Kind of going back to Nathaniel, your point where, like, there's a turn, like you think it's building to this big cataclysmic showdown on this building.
Yeah.
Then he twists it and you realize it's actually about this plot of these dudes with the shamrock tattoos on their wrists that like have been suppressing people with super abilities or who believe in their abilities enough to start developing them, like the Protector. Wait, what is his name again? The Overseer. Bruce Willis's character and Mr. Glass, and now the Horde have done, and they're suppressing it, and that's why we don't ever hear about it. There's this whole society that's been suppressing it. So now you think it's about them, and then again, the lady realizes that she's been outsmarted by the subroutine and the cameras, and she's in the hall like, that she's been outsmarted. She thought she stifled it all. And the guy's in the comic book store talking about, no, that's why I love it. He's a mastermind, man. You never know what his actual plan is until it's too late. And that's what freaks her out. She goes back to subroutine. Mr. Glass, he knew all along, going back, this is what was brilliant. It goes back to the original Unbreakable. We've existed since the dawn of time. And for some reason, people like kind of making little comments like this hasn't been coming out. It's been suppressed. We're ignoring it. We're pretending it doesn't real. It's like he suspected all along that he wasn't suppressed. A mistake, that the Overseer character, Bruce Willis' character, isn't a mistake, and that they weren't all along, because he's having this affirmation. So I'm going to outsmart whatever it is, whoever it is, that's suppressing the reality that everyone said I've been crazy for believing in.
Yeah.
Right? And so it goes public at the end, and you realize the mastermind's plot totally won. So it's like, boom, it's like outdoing it in ways you weren't expecting. The story takes a turn that feels like it's outdoing itself a little bit.
That's all very clever, and he can pat himself
Cue
on the
the
back
curmudgeon.
and receive accolades for his clever writing. And he did subvert expectations, and I'm not mad at him for it, but I still, if I could flip the switch and have the other ending, I would watch that movie and like it better. The knockdown drag out fight at the top of Nakatomi Plaza.
So wish I
That's
could
right.
It's not called Nakatomi Plaza. I wish I could.
Glass is dangling. He's got that nice watch, and Bruce Willis just, and then you see him falling, face up towards the camera.
I would even forgive them if they recreated the fire hose scene where he wraps a fire hose around his waist and jumps off of the edge. And I'd forgive them that. So yes, go for it.
So
Blow the
We
roof.
just want to die.
here's-
Blow the roof.
But
Lose
to your
20%
point-
of the hostages.
to your point, Nathaniel, if they'd had the big fight like Dave and I both really, really wanted, we wanted to have that big fight, and then still did the two different plot twists where they get suppressed and then they still did it. Those two plot twists would have felt superfluous, silly. Like, why are we even going here? I don't even get this part. Right.
And I think you
Make it stand out, and it makes it, instead of a superhero movie, it makes it a movie about superheroes.
Yeah, because I think one of you had said that if it became more of just a standard action movie, it would just be noise in this glut of superhero movies.
Yeah, it would not stand out at all. And so this did make it different and unique. So my gut reaction right after it came out was like, oh, I did not get that, because I know this is gonna, Nathaniel, I'm glad you're sitting down, but of those three characters, the Bruce Willis's character, Samuel
The Beast was your
Jackson,
favorite.
My favorite was
The Beast.
Hedwig,
the Overseer.
No,
The Overseer.
Yeah,
the good
Wait,
guy.
what?
Yeah.
Who are you even?
So when I went to this final wrapping up trilogy that we didn't even know existed that he was going to make, the character I wanted to see more of was the Bruce Willis character. I loved his character in the first movie that introduces this universe. Bruce Willis is just a dude, and in fact, he's kind of a turd. Like, remember the first scene in Unbreakable? You don't know even what's going on. He's on this train. You see him take off his ring and then try to flirt with this girl, his wedding ring. You're like, this guy's a dirtbag, And then the movie unfolds. His wife's kind of wanting to leave him, and things aren't so good. Not that it's still not okay, but he's just a guy, and he has to come to terms with this, believing in himself, that an average Joe, a flawed dude like him, had greatness within himself. And learning to believe in that and his son, that how it bonded him with his son. I like
the subtlety of that movie a lot better. I feel like I thought that was like, that could be a movie where I could want to see the more over superhero, but I loved how it was super subtle. Like, the football game, right? Yeah. You almost want to go see him join in that football game in that movie and destroy everybody. But he's like, nope, I'm not going to go play.
Doesn't do that.
And you see him lift weights. He does like every weight in a weight room, and then buckets and stuff. But even that's super. They don't really ever say how much. You don't ever see him, and he never strains to do it. But he never. It's like, okay, I did all this easily, but I don't ever push myself to that. But I liked that subtlety. I thought that was super, super clever.
Which
Unbreakable
carried
really,
through
really
to
good.
the end of this film. I mean, we didn't get the big blow-up fight. And
For some reason, I appreciated it more than Unbreakable. I don't know. Unbreakable is a really, really good movie.
But I think it resonates with a lot of people that we do have a capacity for greatness within us. The divine spark, or whatever we want to call it.
Etc.
Etc. Etc. I mean, Hedwig's got it in spades. Etc. Anyways, but so I like that storyline. Then the sheer inhumanity, man's capacity for pain, is reflected in the Horde character and storyline. I mean, I don't know if you'd phrase it differently than that. So there's this, but I don't necessarily like being reminded of how screwed up we can be and the terrible things we do to each other. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then that Glass character, how totally his mind and his mastermind is so very cool. But I really wanted to see more of Bruce Willis, but I guess he makes a decision to kind of go away from his. They make him doubt in himself, right? He has to believe in himself. He starts to believe in himself again to punch through the door, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of goes. His story arc is kind of done for M. Night. I guess the director just kind of felt like his story was done, but I wanted more of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that, but I'm leaving out the street, and it was the unique experience for me because I totally did not get what I wanted. but I completely, like, my intuition, so I was like, but that was well made. The storytelling was good. The way, like, he didn't just make a plot just for some contrivance to force something. Like, it made sense. It worked. I didn't like it, but the story worked, and it still told a tale worth telling. It wasn't the one I wanted per se, but it was a story worth telling.
But it was the one you needed right now.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's not the story we wanted, but it's the story we needed.
That's right. I just lobbed that softball up there. I had to take a swing.
Also, one of the best death scenes you'll ever see. Most interesting death scenes you'll ever see in a movie.
Multiple personalities dying all at once.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. Yeah, it displays several personalities all going through the death throes.
They need to make that a category at the Academy Awards. Just
best
purely,
death scene.
best death scene. Yeah.
Dude, he needs to get nominated for a serious award.
The problem is
they're not going to give it to a movie like this because the Academy doesn't respect movies of this quality. But that guy freaking needs an award.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is that he's doing this great job in a movie that doesn't show up at the awards, unless you're Black Panther and you're there for other reasons. I love Black Panther, but you knew how that story was good. Everyone says, well, I kind of knew how the story was going to end the whole time. Right.
That was kind of the beef on it. I still love it, and I will watch every time I love it. I watch it, I love it more. But you did not have that experience watching Glass. Like, you did not know where the story is, and when it changed, and you're like, oh my gosh. And it felt legitimate, and like it changed, like, oh my gosh, why did I think you were going to get the decoding codes from Las Vegas Star Wars Planet? It was not.
Didn't see that coming.
You're like, why did I bother believing? Okay, it was not like that at all, right? Like, it felt legit. So it was this. Like I said, I'm leaving. Like, I didn't get what I wanted, but man, that was good. So it stuck with me, and that's why I had to drag you guys to go see it.
So place your bets. Is there going to be another one in this universe or not? Is he totally done, or does he come back?
I think Shyamalan is done. I know I'm saying his name wrong.
I'm not sure.
I think he's done, but it would not surprise me in the least if in a few years the studio says, "Hey guys, why don't we revisit this and give some jerk director the chance to make a sequel that has none of the spirit of these three movies."
Well, the multiple movie house thing being involved tells me that's a huge no. It's probably not going to happen. And as far as M. Night Shyamalan, I think he's tied a boat on it. He wants to be done.
Yeah.
The unceremonious way in which they killed the overseer character,
but the line,
so done.
This wasn't a special edition. This was an origin story.
Yes.
That made me hope from that moment to the end of the movie, which was only a few minutes, that we were going to see some spark of something in his son that, he's going to be the next generation or whatever. But then they went on to show that, like, no, it's like everybody. They're mixed in all over the world, and now everybody at once is going to see these videos, and it's going to come out, and, But there's a villain left over, The Irish Organization of Superhero Suppressors is still meeting in their Shamrock Bar.
The ISS.
The IOSS.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
And so you would kind of like to see a movie where they are unable to contain it and it gets out of control, and then the world gets destroyed, and they realize, you know what, we needed those guys all along. They should have stopped all these people because now we're all dead.
And Samuel L. Jackson comes back, but with white hair and these little electric sticks. To get the people who can phase and jump in and out.
The sequel's been written already. Oh my gosh. Jumper is the sequel.
Or he's blind and he's got a long white beard and a partially eaten lollipop on the end of a stick. And I'm Vitruvius. I'm here to deal with this
That's
situation.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shame on you.
I have the Lego movie on the brain because I've been waiting this whole podcast to talk about it.
All right. Well, should we switch to Lego podcast then?
But I just want to say, for those who haven't seen it, watch any of this trilogy. Watch Glass. 2 thumbs up for me. Does it get a recommendation from you guys?
Don't go see it.
Dave's a terrible human being. Ignore him. Nathaniel.
I think it's worth a one-time viewing, especially if you've seen the first 2. You need to tie off.
If you've seen the first 2, you should go see it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Be a little disappointed, then don't worry about it again.
Dave's a terrible human being.
Now I have a question about.
Come on,
it's good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm just being contrary. Now I have a question about Lego 2 for both of you gentlemen.
I have so many answers.
Is everything still awesome?
Everything's not awesome.
Oh no!
Everything's not great.
Gonna get stuck in your head. Stuck in your head. Stuck in your head.
It is Lord and Miller, and so there is a quality level to that movie that is up there.
You're talking about the British department store, right?
Yeah,
Lord and Miller.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies.
That one.
When I hear that, it sounds like a
British
department
Lord
store.
Of the Flies. What?
We're making another movie about the interlocking bricks. It's pretty good. Going into it, you can't help but judge every sequel by, is this going to be better than the first one? That is the most difficult thing to do.
Yep.
And I honestly would have a lot of faith in those two guys to be able to do that if anybody could. I feel like it was not quite as good as the first one, because you got that magic of a first experience of introducing these characters and all that sort of thing.
Here's
and
your
the
Legos
lines
actually moving and talking.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
whole movie was actually your Legos.
Does it have roots in reality like the first one did? Where
Yes.
Okay.
So it is are you going to mind if we spoil a little bit?
Nah, go for it. I'm
Just
never watching this
general
movie.
plot structure, but so everybody knows the end of the first one is Duplo showing up, and the end of the first one is the dad saying to the son, "If I let you play down here,
Duplo, we're here to destroy you."
yes, that's all my sons have been saying since we got home from this movie. It also ends with the dad saying, "If I'm going to let you play down here, I also have to let your sister play down here." So this movie is, and it's loaded with clues. You'd have to be dumber than a box of rocks to not get it, like the Sistar system and things like that. Like, it's totally an imaginary metaphor for his younger sister coming down and not playing by the rules he wants to play by and destroying when he wants to, you know what I mean? All that sort of thing, and how that all plays out. But there are still a lot of great one-liners and jokes and character jokes. There's even sort of, I don't know if you call it like a fourth wall breaking joke, where the tough guy Rex that shows up to rescue Emmett, who is obviously voiced by Chris Pratt, has all of these characteristics and skill sets that are basically plays on Chris Pratt's movie roles since he did Lego Movie.
Dinosaur training, space, whatever, superhero, and super, lots of tongue-in-cheek humor that's really, really funny. Not least of all is some of the Batman lines. Come on now.
Yeah, Batman, solid gold. I didn't feel like he could fill out a whole movie perfectly. Like his Batman movie had some slow spots, but again in this movie,
I enjoyed the Batman Lego.
His one-liners are just on point. So good.
So good.
You know what we need to do sometime maybe is I would like to, I don't want to distract from this, but I'd like to figure out where he ranks maybe in all of the Batmans, because I feel like he deserves it now. Third movie playing Batman voice. And I gotta say,
Will Arnett,
he's not at the bottom for sure, and that's George Clooney. So
George Clooney lower than Val Kilmer?
I put Val Kilmer above George Clooney, yeah.
Okay, all right.
You know what? Now you say that, yes. I agree with you.
George Clooney, worst Batman of all time. With a bullet. And then...
his movie was terrible. Yeah, go ahead. Come on.
But anyway, I'd like to figure out where he is on the list of Batmans. You know, we don't have to do that now. That's for another time, listeners. Tune in.
So I have to say, one of my favorite. It wasn't a thing that necessarily made me laugh out loud, but every time I think of it, it puts a smile on my face and a little giggle in my heart. That a major plot twist, a major thing of the movie is Batman getting married to Princess whatever I want to be. And
my kids keep correcting me. It's Queen.
Sorry, Queen. Whatever
I want to be.
Whatever I want to be. And the way she, like, Batman's like, so he's like, I'm so, I don't know, give me that. Give me that. And then she's like, oh, that's okay. I totally don't want to marry you. I'm totally into more people that wear like red capes and can fly and can do all this stuff. And you see like, whoa, you can't, what? He's like, all of a sudden,
You don't want to marry Clark.
You can't. You can't like someone like Superman. You should like someone like me. In fact, so then she totally reverse psychologies the heck out of Batman into convincing him that he should marry Queen whatever I want to be.
Yes.
And that being a critical plot point in the movie just makes it so hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially going back to the Batman Lego movie and like, what? You're not my greatest villain. Superman is.
Yeah.
What? He's a good guy.
Yeah.
What? Have you seen my movies?
I love that whole. I love the whole scene
so
in the Batman. I don't do ships.
Yeah.
So there's time travel in it, and
Yeah.
anyways,
Did you happen to notice? Because my family didn't notice, and it was very evident to me that Rex's ship is shaped like a giant fist.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah. It's a big punching fist. Yeah, totally.
He's supposed to be.
How did they not notice
uber
that?
tough guy? I don't know.
Because what else would it be? He's a tough guy. My ship's
I know.
a fist.
The actual Lego set, the physical Lego set they made that's supposed to be his ship is not shaped like a fist. They redid it. I mean, maybe it would have been too many pieces, but I have to say, we went and saw the movie. That was a week or so ago. My kids have gotten their Lego back out and been playing with it nonstop. Just tonight before we were recorded, they were begging me to download the songs, because so you have Everything Is Awesome from the first one. Mm-hmm. Then they do kind of like a remix of it to go in awesome. Apocalypseburg. Well, even at the beginning, I wake up in the morning. He's got to have his happy song. Yeah. And then they have this song. This song's going to get stuck inside your head.
Inside your head.
So the rest of my month is going to be hearing my kids blast that on the iPad over and over and over and over and over again. This song going to get stuck inside your head.
Yeah. So you did not. Can you try to qualify, at least for you, why you didn't think it? I mean, good movie. It's definitely take your kids to this movie. It's entertaining, right? Definitely. But to you, why do you think it wasn't as good for you?
There were more mini plots happening simultaneously in this one versus the first one. The first one was pretty straightforward, like Lord business / president business. He wants the piece. Emmett's got the piece. It's very cut and dry. Like, this is the whole thing. Yeah. And the reality elements are kind of not evident till the end and the overarching emotional thing. Whereas this is a lot of different things, like what's going on with Emmett and Rex and their interactions. And then you've got Wildstyle and her suspicion of the Queen. And then that's an element that's going on. And then you've got, a little bit of a humorous one with the Batman and everything. And the reality thing was a little bit more woven in this time. So you kind of got a greater sense of the movie.
It showed up more often, the humans with the Legos. Yeah.
It just didn't quite have the tightness. It was very close, but just not quite the same level of tightness. Although some great one-liners, like I mentioned before, with Batman gone and Marvel not returning our calls, there's no more heroes left.
And Marvel not returning our calls.
And they also they added Aquaman to the DC Lego characters, and it was totally Jason Momoa's version of him. Yeah.
And then we still got original Aquaman. He's all
yes,
really? And a nice blonde hair and stuff. Yeah.
A tie-in to our previous movie that we just discussed. There is a scene in the movie, and I was so surprised they got him to do this, where Wildstyle is crawling through an air duct. And she runs into Bruce Willis crawling the other way.
Yeah, was it really his voice too?
Yeah, and he's like, really? I don't live up here. I just it's this whole awkward interaction.
He's always in
there. They go by.
Yeah, so, like a couple times they do it. Like a couple. Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
Hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of it's definitely worth seeing. Absolutely, yeah. And it is very close to the first movie. So I mean,
so don't go see it then. Not worth your time. Okay.
Look.
People just hear what they want to hear.
There are no Lego Matt Damon figures in the world, so
all right,
safe to go see.
Safe to go see. All right, then. Well, that changes it a lot.
So I was thinking about why it didn't resonate with me, or I didn't enjoy it as much. And I want to just throw something down there. Tell me if I'm full of crap. I think what it hinges is on I'm a chauvinist pig. Let me explain.
Established. Carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So, not questioning you about it. I understand. No, okay.
No need to pause. My bad. Okay. So, in the first one, it's about the right way to play with Legos and having brothers and sharing Legos and all this stuff. Like, Lord, the one way you play with Legos is you do it the right way, you keep it that way, and you play with it the way it was designed to play.
Right.
And the other way you play with your Legos is you smash everything. You just randomly create new creative things that you explore. Yeah. And that was the dynamic. Okay. And I have both of those sides of my brain and that side in me when I played Legos. Once I built the set, like I never wanted to crush the set.
Right.
If I happened to have Legos that weren't put together in a set, I would love to create with them. But once I had I totally understood that. Like that was Legos. Do I keep it in the set? Or do I make something new with it?
Right.
Right? Like, that was my experience with Legos. And then with this one, the story kind of hinges on, so daddy's way of playing with Legos or kids playing with Legos or whatever. And then this one is, playing with little sister or playing by myself?
Yeah.
Right? Because he has to play with the problem to me, like how I wanted to see the story, like there would have been the happy ending was like, we don't need to play together. You like to do your storylines that are fun for you. I respect you. You're a wonderful person. And I want to do different storylines and adventures, right? And let's respect each other's differences and be happy that we're different but equal human beings, right? That's how I wanted to see it. Because
somehow that ending doesn't have the same ring to it. You know?
Right? Because, all right, the plot line, the sister was crushing all of the brothers' things because she was little, but then there's a part where the movie like goes forward 5 years. And Emmett has been underneath the dishwasher for 5 years. And they haven't found him. Anyways.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoilers. And so it's all about like, oh, they can play together. But like, as a little boy, I never wanted to play dolls with my sisters because what were the adventures? They're playing so-and-so's shopping and so-and-so's getting married. Like, I don't plan action figure battles where Batman gets married. That is not fun for dudes. Okay? So, like, that's not a fun way to play for me. Like, I don't see this need for reconciliation. You're right. I should have my Batman get married to Queen whatever. No, I don't. Batman doesn't get married. Okay. So I didn't see the need. Obviously, now, that being said, obviously I see the need for brothers and sisters to get along and play nicely with each other. You know, like that's a good thing. So, right. I mean, I don't actually have a beef with it, but that's, for me, why I didn't resonate, because where the story ended up is like my sisters, I had 2 little sisters, looked at me and played. When we had the most fun is when they let me plan an action. We all picked superpowers and we did a superhero action adventure pretending like we were our own made-up superheroes and played.
So when you all had the most fun was when you played by your rules.
Exactly.
Your way.
With the Craggle. No.
I think you need to watch the movie again. You clearly didn't get the lesson.
Yeah, exactly. So, but at no point did they ever talk me into playing Barbie Gets Married.
So really, you're disappointed this kid didn't hold his ground? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. So this all comes back to the fact that I am, in fact, a chauvinist pig. Right?
Yeah. So you're Rex in this metaphor. Is what's going on?
Exactly. But
I don't know if it's because I have 2 boys, but I just took it as the older-younger dynamic. Because I see that with my boys, that the younger one does not necessarily want to stay within the rules. It was about making the princess
get married to one of his...
Yeah.
Like, you have to play with me, and you have to take your best leader to come marry my queen. Like, I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
Or can we play that and now go on and save the world? Okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
I have this ongoing debate with 2 of my sisters. Quick side argument that guy movies are way better. Like the 80s. All the movies that they're making from the 80s are from the TV shows for boys. Right? They didn't make a My Little Pony super blockbuster movie or Barbie blockbuster movie or any of those girl things. Cabbage Patch blockbuster movie.
They made some pretty big My Little Ponies now, though.
Well, they're cartoons, right? They're not like Transformers was made like.
They did make a My Little Pony movie, but not a live action.
Okay,
that would be weird.
When they go to the 80s and try to make
any money.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's because our storylines are about saving the world or doing some huge deed, and like others, they're just don't have massive appeal. And I am a chauvinist pig. So.
It's just impressive to me how quickly you assembled that Lego shovel that you're digging yourself deeper with.
I am a master builder of my own
down. Yeah. Ladies, I love you. I'm just representing the feminist side here.
But honestly, here's the thing. I don't even think girls necessarily like it. Like my 2 daughters, they'll watch the Barbie TV shows. They'll watch the My Little Pony shows. They like them. But Mary or Sarah was homesick the other day. What do you want to watch? And she goes on the station and gets G.I. Joe. Puts it in.
Yeah.
To watch it. She could have picked anything she wanted.
Raising them right, man.
We've got the My Little Ponies.
You have a good and righteous daughter.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
Right? Because it's just more entertaining when there's like life is on the line rather than...
There's girls in G.I. Joe too,
another
right?
episode of like
Lady J and Scarlet.
Yeah, like My Little Pony and Barbie's, their episodes like, oh my gosh, the weather's coming, it's going to ruin our party. What are we going to do? Like that, literally, they have episodes about their parade.
Did you used to write
party.
for those guys? Because I think
Seriously, that's what they're
I've
about.
seen that episode.
I think I've seen that episode. Yeah.
So, like, anyways, girl entertainment is, like, terrible, I think. And I don't think they even like it, to be honest. But I'm also not a girl, so what would I know? How would I even
some
know?
teeth onto that shovel to really get the clumps out. It's like get everything.
Now it's a backhoe.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. If you like it, like I said, I am a fan of all awesome things, and I want everybody to like everything. If you like it, go right on ahead and enjoy it.
Nobody's believing a word coming out now at this point. Not a word.
Can we just switch? Maybe it's time to switch movies.
I think I've been hanging out with curmudgeon over here too long. Maybe.
So, we've probably been talking for a long time and you're getting tired of us, but I would like to talk briefly about Spider-Verse if you guys...
we totally talked about it in the last episode.
But we should have talked about it last time, but I watched that movie not too long ago. And I'm just going to say right out of the gate, I super enjoyed it. My son and my wife super enjoyed it. I love it. I love that movie. I can't wait to watch it again as soon as I can.
I thought it was very good. I did find myself at like the 2/3 point feeling like a slight drag or something in it. Like just like I think I don't have a lot of love for multiverse plots in general. This was a very well done one and very enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I still always struggle when they're like, there's 6 different versions of this character. You know
That's why I procrastinated seeing it, because I was like, they're going to screw this up. I'm going to hate it. And it's about the Miles Morales version, which I was like, my guy is Peter Parker, and I don't want to see disrespect to Peter Parker. And they did not do that at all. And they wrote the multiverse fantastically. And
I mean, he kind of had a gut and was not eating healthy.
But I could that's some version. I mean, he probably in the comics has gone through that phase. You know, he has gone through breakups with Mary Jane in comics and had slumps and stuff. So I don't care. I mean, he by the end of the comic, but at some point in the movie, he's Peter Parker. He's awesome Spider-Man, right? He's the alpha that they're all looking to for leadership, right? So I appreciated that.
Yeah, I'm glad they got that right, or it would have rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I would have. Even Tough Guy Noir Spider-Man was kind of looking to them for leadership. So I don't know. I thought it was. I will say this. I'll say this right now. Previous to this movie, my favorite Spider-Man movie was the second Tobey Maguire one with Doc Ock, and this might now be my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Ooh!
See, I heard.
Wow.
I heard all this praise, like this might be my favorite superhero movie of all time. No, I heard that, and I did not come to that conclusion when I watched the movie.
That was part of my problem too.
It's nowhere best of close to the best superhero movie. Yeah, but it's maybe my best Spider-Man movie.
It colors your expectations going in though, because I saw like tweets from people saying this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. Period. All movies, and that just sets your expectations way too high going in, so it's hard to then kind of come down and enjoy it. But
they had that weird like glitchy thing that would happen through the movie, and it would trip me out that something was wrong with the movie every time.
Oh, really?
I loved all the artistic liberties they took. I thought that was its strongest point.
It was beautiful, but you know how they would like fuzz out the camera and do something like glitchy. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Like this movie, the lens effect or something that they would do that it was weirding me out that I didn't like particularly, but I understood. I got it after like, oh, they're doing it on purpose. Like it was, anyways. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good. I keep trying to I have not succeeded in getting my kids out to it. I'm like, oh, maybe we could go watch it tonight, and then, or it's not like in there anymore, or whatever. But totally endorse anyone seeing it. But I really have switched places with Dave. I was kind of like, meh.
Really, I thought it was so well done. Miles Morales whoever they wrote him perfectly. They just the way they to pull all these different Spider people together and have them. They did as good a job as you can possibly do. I can't imagine someone voicing Peter Parker, but he did the perfect job of being Peter Parker, but also being that mouthy, fast-talking Spider-Man. I love the scene when they're fighting New Doc Ock, trying to steal the computer. Good news! We don't need the monitor. Chucks it and keeps on fighting. While the other guy's trying to sneak out I love that part because I work in IT, right? And people want to grab me. I don't need the monitor. What do you know what you're doing with it? But that's something I'm always thinking. We don't need the monitor. Leave it.
Yeah,
But,
it was quite good.
I thought, yeah, that guy was perfect. I thought Spider-Ham was hilarious, and he was kind of he just showed up right when he could do something funny and cartoony, and then was out again. Wasn't weird.
They didn't overplay that.
They didn't overplay him.
Spider-Ham.
Same thing with Noir, Spider-Man, and
that was a pleasant
Spider-Gwen.
surprise to see Nicolas Cage
Yeah,
nail a role as desired. That was
I'm glad
really,
they didn't draw him
good.
draw him with snakes around his arms too.
it was odd. He's been on such a run though that you couldn't help but think like, wow, he was like in a recording studio with professionals from a large studio, doing a grown-up job. Like,
I feel bad. I just feel bad for the guy. Anyways, but it was nice to see him.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and it didn't like take me out of the movie. Like if that had been Matt Damon's voice, it would take me out of the movie.
Yeah.
He is arguably an A-list star. Didn't take me out of the movie. I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah. I love this little scene. I'm going to take this back with me and figure out this weird cube.
Yeah.
Because everything's black and white. You can't figure out why.
Wasn't there? Was he trying to learn the colors? Like, I forget. At some point, he's trying to name the colors, and he can't figure them out. Yeah.
So
I thought it was awesome.
So
yeah.
good. I like that they made each one distinct. They were. Some of them were almost like, how is this even considered a Spider-Man? But whatever, multiverses could be like that, right? So I did enjoy it. I didn't feel like I poo-pooed it too much. No,
I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to own it when it comes out.
It actually has spoiled me a little bit because after seeing what they did with a comic book movie and taking it to the next level with the visuals and everything.
Yeah, the visuals were good.
Like, I recently watched, Netflix made this horror movie that takes place in the art world called Velvet Buzzsaw, right? And the entire movie is in art galleries and art studios and everything. But it was filmed and directed like every other generic movie you've seen. So the plot and the dialogue and all that is good. All I was thinking the whole time was like, man, if the guys from Spider-Man did this, it would be like an artsy looking and shot film. Why wasn't it like this? And I lost points in my mind. And I wouldn't have thought that except that I had seen Into the Spider-Verse recently and saw somebody take it to the next level. You know what I mean?
I feel like they just
did the plot
they
really
put their
grip
heart.
you in this movie, or did
I
you
loved
just like
the plot of
because
it.
you
Yeah,
saw Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I did.
I
when
liked
I went to
the
go see it,
plot.
I was
I really
kind of tired, and I was.
So we saw it like Saturday
not ideal
morning,
situation for me, I guess.
like a Saturday. But I loved the plot of I thought the story was great. I liked the plot. I like Kingpin as a villain. So Kingpin as a villain.
Yeah.
I love that because he's got cool, interesting motivations and idea. Plus he's got some cool, subtle things about him. But then his overarching, like, I'm just a big, powerful villain. I like
even
that too.
when his head is just kind of like sticking out of the upper chest area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He's a giant rectangle.
But I like that. I like that Peter Parker mentoring.
My head comes out of my sternum.
Sort of this, the young new Spider-Man, right? I liked that it's a young new Spider-Man who doesn't know what to do with, or even maybe want the powers. And here's eventually Peter Parker mentors him and shows. I liked that
the real Peter Parker was there to mentor him, and that even Morales existed in a universe where there had been a previous legit Spider-Man who just happened to die. Right. So that was, and I like how they made the one who died clearly a very close shadow of the original Peter Parker. He had just blonde hair instead of brown. It was like basically the only difference in his life had turned out not sucky, the Peter Parker we know of. But it's so funny that people say it's like the best hero movie. Like, honestly, for me, it's not even better than most of the Spider-Man movies for me.
Really? I think it's probably the best
here's the
one.
thing. I really love almost all of the Spider-Man movies.
See, I don't know.
Like, why would you even do that? It's not even the same type of storytelling. Like, I wouldn't even... Like, I don't actually compare Lego Batman to Dark Knight because they're just not the same thing, right? Even though they're both Batman movies. Like, I just don't... I don't put them in the same...
See, I don't even like the Garfield, the newer Spider-Man movies. I don't really like them that much. I like the old Tobey Maguire ones, but the first one... Anyway,
I'm just saying, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
This was just, again, like the art style was so amazing.
I don't even know what it was, but there's something, like, the story just didn't... Really? I don't know. I didn't get sucked in. Maybe it's because I was in like a total comatose when I watched it.
Yeah, to me, it had all that. And maybe part of it was because I do know the Spider-Man back. I don't need the origins. So this was a completely new take with characters I already know about, voiced really well, written really, really well. The artistic style was amazing. It was just all done so well. I really, really liked it.
I so love the dad character.
I was gonna say the dad character. I was like, when he like forces his son. I was like, this is like my favorite dad in movies now. Right? Yeah.
My kids watching, like, absolutely 1,000,000% that I would do that to you, right?
Yeah.
My kids like, yes.
Yeah, I get like the small parts. The dad, even the mom. The mom's only in like 1 or 2 scenes, but I liked the mom. I liked all the uncle who was kind of good, bad sort of thing. I liked every character. It didn't feel like any character got less attention, kind of thing. Like even small parts, they were like, make sure this guy, when he's on screen, when you're speaking, you are relevant and it'd be the best you can be, kind of thing. I love attention to detail, I guess, is what I could say about this movie.
I want to see it again. So, take that into consideration. Like, I like the movie. I want to see it again. I want to take my kids to watch it.
My son loved it. My wife loved Spider-Gwen. I
was going to say, I like the Morales Spider-Man more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Because they did good. They didn't make him upstage the original. They respected that they were different individuals with different abilities and a different role, and they didn't say one has to be better than the other. We're the new one, and you're better than you.
I like that he's a new style. Like, he's a younger, newer style of Batman, and he's doing Spider-Man his way.
Yeah,
and I like that. I thought that's cool.
I don't have to be Peter Parker. I just have to be me.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's how you introduce a new character.
Exactly.
Right? You don't make She-Ra save He-Man.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Early drafts, Peter Parker hands him the mask. He takes it. He throws it over his shoulder, and then the movie begins.
Don't do it.
They cut it out.
If you want to introduce a new character, make him awesome in their own right, not to sacrifice already loved heroes. And they did that. They did. Good. That's why I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Still. So, anyways.
Anyway, very, very
well, there you go. We've covered a lot of ground.
Whew.
We have, yeah.
Okay, so if you could be any one of the Spider-Verses Spider-Man, like, have their abilities, you don't have to be like a young kid, which abilities would you want? And let's close with that.
Dead Peter Parker.
Dead Peter Parker.
Huh. So not.
There's no pressure. There's no responsibility or power. Just chilling underground.
Gotta say, I didn't see that one coming.
I you know what? I think, I don't know. I feel like I need to read now about the noir Spider-Man, because I really liked that guy. I thought he was so cool.
An excuse to pick him, right?
Yeah.
Living in a cartoony world and like giant mallets and whatever.
Yeah.
Peter Parker. I mean, come on. That would be pretty awesome.
His stupid things he said when he hands the guy the mallet, it'll fit in your pocket. It'll fit, Giant mallet.
Do animals talk in this universe?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to freak him out.
Yeah.
So I like the Morales. I like his powers. I think they almost gave him too many. Like electrocution and then
he got the sting and he can turn invisible. Yeah.
But I love his powers. To me, it almost like they gave him too much.
It seems like was he missing one? He doesn't have spider sense, right? He didn't have the spider sense.
It just doesn't. No, they all do. They all have it.
I don't think he has spider sense.
That's the problem. That's where you get confused. Because he had it. He definitely had it.
In the comics, I almost say in the comics maybe he didn't have it, but yeah.
I just want to stick with original Peter Parker's powers. Tried and true, but Morales' powers are super, super cool.
Yeah.
I'd take those two.
I would take either one of them. I mean, original Peter Parker is my guy, but I will say, like, I also wouldn't mind being noir Spider-Man. That guy is
I don't even know what his
the sweet trench coat and the hat, and you can barely see his face. Pretty sweet.
Okay.
All right.
Tune in next time where we find something else to bury our futures with and lose friends and nerd out about.
Thanks for joining us, etc.
Etc.
Oh, man.
See ya.